Welcome to Skipping Class. My name is Jasmine Jeffrey with Kelvin Dooley and Ian Taylor. We're going to jump right into it. The first topic for Southern Sports is going to be basketball. Considering we have 5 games left for the basketball season, what can the Lions do to grab these wins before conference? Ian?
Well, obviously we just had a couple bad games over this last weekend that we just had. They lost a really tough game that unfortunately it seemed like they kind of gave away in the first half, got down by over 20, made a valiant comeback, but I was there, Kelvin was there. It just seemed like this team wasn't really playing with a lot of fight, with a lot of emotion. There were points, it was like one guy on the court actually gave a damn if they were going to win this ball game, and sometimes it was Charlie Brown who played out of his mind and really put these guys on his back and brought them to a place where they had a chance to win. Sometimes it was Feidel, sometimes it was Luster, but it was one guy. There was never really a collective team that was out there trying to get this victory. So, I don't know. I feel like they need to bring that emotion. They need to be a bully. They need to establish their identity. I still feel like this team is searching for something, and it's time to find it, or you're not going to have a chance to get to the place where you want to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? They rattled off 3 straight after the lineup change. Now they've lost 2 straight games. To your point, they've lost that toughness. They don't have that edge and that toughness. They lost that when Lane and Cam left as seniors. I like Prince. He's everything for this team. He has the toughness. He's the toughest guy by far on their team, but he can't do it all. He's too well-rounded of a player to just be that guy. But he's that guy. And against the Lopers came out and balled that game. Game 1 of their losing streak, they came out and ball. They were hitting their big shots, and they got down too early. They can't score. They don't score the ball that prolifically to be down that early, that fast, to come back and win a game. Against Fort Hays, the game we were both at, Fort Hays came to ball, man. They played a really good game all around. They did everything well. And my question about that game, who was that go-to guy in the fourth quarter, in the second half, late in the game? Is it Charlie Brown or Tavon Prince? Which is not a conflict. That's not a bad conflict at all. They had 2 go-to guys late in the game. But who is that guy? Because Tavon, they triple team him, double team, and triple team Tavon, and took him out the game late in the half. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. Charlie Brown is he's a great college player, but he couldn't do it all at that point. And benching, and I'm of the mindset when you bench Feidel and you put him in the late half of the second half, now he wants to make big shots. He wants to take that attempt. He wants that starting rotation job back. So he wants to get in the game. He wants to take that big shot. He took that big shot against the Lopers, if I'm not mistaken, and missed it. And the play was all alone to Charlie Brown. That right there, I don't know if that creates tension, but again, he wants that spot back. He wants to be back in the rotation. And who was that guy for those guys in the late halves? And excuse me, I told you wrong. They do have 3 games remaining left in the season. Okay. And they need to finish strong. They have clinched a spot in the MIAA tournament, which is big time. That's great. So that's off their back. They need to come down. They got SBU, UCM, and Pittsburgh State, all solid opponents. Only one of those games at home. They don't really have a good record on the road. So they need to come out and play those games well and get victories. That way they can be in good standing heading into the tournament. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you identified the problem. It's that they don't know where their identity lies as far as who's going to finish this game off. I think you can figure that out in a number of fashions, if nothing else, by matchups in that game. If Tavon Prince is getting triple teamed, he can't have the ball. So who is going to take the shot? That falls on Jeff Boschee to figure out a way to get a player with the ball in their hands so they can win these games. Yeah. And it looks like he's failing to do that right now.
And I think they have great role pieces. They have a great array of talent. They need to do a better job coaching. You need to find a ways to out-coach the coach. that is a pivotal part of all sports, coaching. So you need to be able to out-coach the other coach. And they failed to do that the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to stop that topic. With 3 more games left in the season, hopefully they can pull through. Now we're going to go into track, which is one of my favorite sports. Melanie Bower set a new high record in pole vaulting last week at the Pitt State Invitational. This girl vaulted over 13 feet and took first place, which is amazing. What are your comments on Bower?
Me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bower, we have 2 great pole vaulters here in Missouri Southern. The first 2 episodes, we spoke heavily of track and field and Emily Presley, how well she's doing. Now a second pole vaulter emerges as arguably maybe the best. And I'm not, is she a freshman? What class is she?
She's a senior.
Senior, okay, well that's great. And Presley is a freshman. So what a great lady, young lady to look to as a freshman. You have a senior who was also arguably as good, if not better. And they're on the road right now. Both the men's and women both won big time events this past weekend in PSU, and they're representing well. That's when you travel to PSU in their new facility, you want to leave, you want to place your mark as Southern Lions. You want to go there and win events.
You got to make a point about everything.
But to Bower, I mean, she's performing well. That's big time. That's another record set. Seems like they're making this weekly. You know, it's becoming quite repetitive to go somewhere and break records and take home W. So she's big time. I wouldn't mind going to go see her. I haven't seen her compete yet, but after breaking this record and seeing what she's capable of, that's something that's on the checklist. Now we got to go see her compete this indoor season. So she's great. She's great.
Ian, before you answer that question, let me give you a question off of his statement.
Okay.
Do you feel like she can go and take it all this entire season?
I don't know about that. I mean, that remains to be seen, I guess, is what you have to say. With track, especially pole vaulting, there's so many nuances that go into the perfect jump. And if you haven't had a chance to see, look on Facebook. She actually had a video that I think her parents took of her breaking the record, and you just see the emotion. After she gets over it, she jumps over into Scheiding's arms, I think, and is just losing her mind over breaking this record for, reaching a personal best for herself. That's something she's been striving to for so long. So it's great to see that emotion from people, obviously people on this campus that, we all have got a chance to talk to and get to know. But I feel like the sky's the limit. If she's on this kind of roll to where she already PR'd and now she's broken that again, hopefully what you're looking at in the near future is continuing that trend. And when you've got a freshman that's just come in, is breaking records and is driving you, it seems like that's some extra motivation that's going to help parlay her to a place where she's going to do something special. Maybe not necessarily win at all, but to finish in a place where she maybe never expected herself to finish and be impactful for Missouri Southern. So.
Yeah. And we spoke to it already, but they are doing a great job, Vavra and Shadi, of producing talent and then recruiting talent, bringing them in. The freshman, and then they have a senior who's also performing at a high level. That speaks a lot to those great coaches, so that's big time for those guys.
Sure.
All right, let's swing over into baseball. Over the weekend, Lions took the win against Bemidji. I got it right now. I got it right.
Bemidji.
The 15th and 16th, they traveled to San Antonio. So do you guys feel like Southern is moving in the right direction to, really direct their season?
Me again?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. I spoke to it last week again. You want to start this season off on the right foot. Nationally ranked, preseason favorite to win it all. You want to start this on the right foot. They did that against Bemidji State. They're a great team. You want to beat these guys up. Leave your mark. Let guys know that we're here to stay and play some real baseball in MIAA. And they did that. They played today, actually. They won the first 3 games versus Bemidji State. Big time game. I was at the opening day. They won 1-0. It's a weird way to start the season.
Not a strong performance.
In a very cold day, weird day. Great pitching performance for both pitchers, but they did manufacture a run, which speaks to great values to great teams.
Sure.
When you're not clicking on all cylinders with the bats, maybe
figure out a way to win.
You figure out a way to win. They won that game 1-0. Came out the next 2 games and blew them out the water. Scored 14+ runs in both games. So, they're heading the right direction. To your question, and they got it all set. They have great pitching, great batters. And we've seen that with these 2 14-run performances. So, they're heading in the right direction. Keep it going.
Yeah, the reality of things is this is a team that they were supposed to beat, and they were supposed to beat handily. So when you open the season with a 1-0 victory, it gets a little tense in the locker room, I would imagine.
Sure.
I'm sure Darnell was not excited about that, but you come back out, you put Hutchinson on the mound, he performs for you like he did last year, just throwing good quality innings. I was actually at the game, it was freezing cold. And it was the 4th inning, I believe, and I was like, well, I'm on the verge of getting out of here if these boys don't put some runs on the board. It was nothing. Boom, they come up with 9. Chris Hoffman hits an oppo, bomb, grand slam. So they just blew this game wide open and then just dominated from there. So, they're a good quality team like we talked about. They have all the facets that you need. They've got new talent coming in. The new new second baseman, shortstop, first baseman. So you've got some new pieces that they're trying to work in, trying to figure out the bats. This team's going to be good. It's going to be a long season. You've got to figure out who your guys are. But when you have Chris Hoffman, when you've got Jesse Rawl, who is just an absolute monster,
It's great.
you know, the Incredible Hulk with a Q-tip in his hand up there. Yeah, the team's going to be good. So it'll be exciting to watch. Definitely something people want to go out to this field right up the way here. Go over to Warren Turner Field, check out these guys.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, give them some love because it's going to be a good quality sport
Yeah.
for this university. For the rest of the semester.
And they're a winning program. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have too many of those. Honestly, we can't truly say that about a lot of programs here in Missouri Southern. They have been one of the more consistent programs. They don't really have losing seasons.
Sure.
Track and field also. I mean, just winning programs, consistently good, great talent. So, yeah, they got to go out and check these guys out. They play good baseball.
Yeah.
Winning teams.
So basically, you guys are telling me good thing football season is not intact because we
True.
didn't do too good. That's
That's
basically
right.
what you're saying.
Football season will be
They
good
were
next
bad.
year, though. They're going to have some people. It'll be all right. They'll
What?
make a resurgence.
No,
That's the
don't
key
go
word.
too
That's
deep
the key
into
word.
it. You know, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Take it
Okay.
easy.
Yeah,
They're going to
tread
suck.
slow.
I say that. They're going to
Don't
suck.
y'all didn't hear that. Y'all didn't hear that. They didn't say he ain't mean suck. He mean they was gonna do good. Now
Yeah,
let's go to the
fantastic.
national
True,
topics. Let's talk MLB for a second. What are your comments on the upcoming season? I mean, are we all Royals? Or are you gonna go with the Cubs? What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's going to be wide open, honestly. I mean, obviously, I'm a Royals fan through and through, so what we have to do is put our allegiance in that. But yeah, you spoke to a good team. The Cubs, Cardinals are always tough. The Giants win in every single even year, so you would imagine they're going to be in the World Series. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors that come into play. Obviously, you've got injuries and people that emerge in spring training that come out of nowhere, those random names. So there's still a lot to be learned, but it's just exciting to get that part of sports rolling, you know, with football being gone now and the NBA kind of getting into that lull season, the lull point after the All-Star break before it really heats up toward the playoffs. Yeah, so it's exciting to have baseball back, plus being summer's coming. I know we're all tired of shivering, so.
Well, I think we're all Kansas City Royals here, right?
Yep.
Look, say they're a repeat. I mean, it's a little far fetched, but I'm a Royals fan. They can do it. You know, they did it once. It's proven. The AL Central has gotten a lot tougher this year.
It's always tough.
It's always tough,
Always
but
tough.
I think I have a great feeling Detroit will return to form. Minnesota, a young team, they did really well. They finished second in division last year. The White Sox with some big signings this offseason.
Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland
Terry
Indians.
Francona, man. I
This
can't
may
get
be the
away from
toughest
that man.
division. This may be the toughest division this MLB season. But again, I think it's wide open. I will put the Royals in the front. They're defending champions. I will put them there, and I'm just a Royals fan. They're
yeah.
number one right now.
Oh, yeah, we are.
We're all homers.
But it's wide open after that. I mean, baseball. This will be a fun season. I'm glad to see the Royals before we even get into talent and who win it all. They get a spot on ESPN opening day, which is big time. A small market team like this doesn't typically get ESPN games, primetime games.
Right.
I'm more excited that they get this game to open the season. They will not be getting presented with the rings, which is. I don't know how that. I feel a certain type of way about that. If you open night on national TV, I would like to see the fans or the viewers see our fans and our players receive our rings that night. But
And you buy a ring for everybody in the stands,
right.
too.
Hey, I'm gonna be up in here.
If I have to buy it, everybody gets rings. But yeah,
Like Oprah, you get a card. You get a
you
card.
get a card. You get a ring. You get a World Series ring. A big season coming up. We still have the free agent period. Still some nice pieces out there.
True.
I'm
Bringing
excited.
Alex Gordon back, though. Gigantic.
Big time move. I love it. Ian Kennedy. I like that addition. It's yet to be seen. Spring training.
A lot
Still
of
got spring
controversy
training.
around him, though. What do you like about him? Tell me that.
You know what? I couldn't tell you right now because he pitched in the National League with the Padres.
Sure.
I'm not for sure. But how about this? We have a great defense. It's it's a pitcher's ballpark.
Yeah.
I think any pitcher would fare well with that defense behind him in his ballpark. With this, I can't say emerging because we've already won the title, but this team is still getting better.
Sure.
So I like that. I like that signing from that aspect. And we still got spring training. We got nice jerseys. We get special new jerseys and things like that. We have a lot of, well, not a lot. We traded away all our minor league talent, but we still have some pieces emerging and coming up. So let's get through spring training, and let's get through opening night and get over all the emotion and that sad, joyous, glamorous day.
Get to the true baseball.
Yeah,
Settling
and then
in.
we get to choose baseball middle of April, late April, and then then we can have this conversation. But the door is wide open. The Royals won't be the only team there. You got the Nationals, you got the Cubs, Cardinals. This is gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be great.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I'm gonna end it on this last question, And the question remains, would you skip class to travel to Pitt State, which is our rivals here at MOSO, to check out our very own Melanie Bower before she, basically graduates? You guys let us know. My name is Jasmine Jeffrey with Ian Taylor and Kelvin Dooley. We're out of here.